Welcome back, Stub Clubbers. I'm Amanda.
I'm Jennifer.
And we're continuing on our 25 Days of Disney.
Yay!
I only hope that we never lose sight of one thing, that it was all started by a mouse.
Be a man, we must be swift as a coursing river, man, with all the force of a great typhoon. Be a man, with all the strength of a raging fire, mysterious as the dark side of the moon. Please welcome.
So earlier this year, our very own Jennifer got to take a trip to Disney. Now, I've never been to Disney. I know, I'm salty about it. I mention it all the time.
So for this video, you will get to wear you can wear my magic band from 2017.
And it's purple.
Yes.
It's my favorite.
So you get to wear my old magic band. That's from 2017, and I got my 2019. They're the same thing, but you can wear it.
Aw, thank you. It's got Mickey Mouse ears and everything on there.
Mm-hmm.
Quick question, what do these actually do?
Okay, so this is a magic band. This is your hotel room key.
Okay.
So instead of having that plastic key, you can have one of those, but if you're staying on property, you get this for free. So you would scan your door, it opens, it'll open your room door. This is your park tickets. So when you go into the parks, you scan it, you put a finger down, and then you scan it so it kind of links together.
So they take your fingerprint?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they actually do. It's your fingerprint and this. Then this is also your fast passes. Fast passes are for, you get to pick 3 for starters, and it is so you get in a special line for the Disney rides, and you can get through the line quicker.
Okay, so similar to Cedar Point fast passes.
Yes.
Okay.
What else? If you have the dining plan, you would have it attached to your magic band where with your meal they would scan it, so then they would know how many meals you have left. You can also hook your credit card up to this, and so in the Disney parks, instead of pulling out your credit card each time, you can tap it.
That's cool.
There's that too. I think that's about it. I think I didn't miss anything, but so it's a lot of things.
All in this little band.
Yes.
So, first question I have about planning a trip for Disney.
Mhm.
How long did it take you to plan? Like, when did you start to when it was time for you to go?
Okay, so ever since honestly I got back from my 2017 trip, that's when I started watching a bunch of YouTubers. So like Tim Tracker, Disney at Heart, there was another Chelsea Golden who was a Disney college program person. I started watching all of their videos. And so it made me realize what other stuff was there. So I kind of was watching this and trying to figure out, well, when was I going to go next? For this past trip, to shorten it, I didn't start to get serious about it until the beginning of this past year, 2019. When I started asking a bunch of people, I did not book my trip until March.
Okay.
When I went in June, and I felt like that was a little bit on the late side.
That seems kind of late for that.
Yeah, when I went in 2017, we booked a couple days after New Year's Day, when we went at the very end of May.
Okay.
We did it sooner because we knew who was going, who was able to go. I had to constantly wait because I was in limbo hearing who could go or not. I ended up going with my sister. For answering your question, a couple months prior to March, I was constantly looking up hotel prices, airline prices. So that usually takes place a couple months before you're going to book it to figure out what you're going to do.
Okay.
So I did book it in March. I don't remember when in March I booked it. I want to say it was towards the end of the month. And then I went June 13th.
Okay. And you stayed at Disney for how long?
We went June 13th through the 20th. So that was 7 nights, 8 days.
Okay.
Yes, 7 nights, 8 days. When I went in 2017, it was 8 nights, 9 days.
Okay.
So we were there an additional 1 extra day. Yeah, we were there 1 additional extra day when I went in 2017. We tried to do without that extra day, and we wish so badly we would have kept a day. We were just trying to see what was more workable with my sister's schedule. She had the vacation time, but it was more of like on the price. It wouldn't have killed either of us. We would have tacked on a day. When I book my Disney trips, I like to do it over the phone.
Okay.
You can actually do it on the computer. But when you book over the phone, you get to talk to a live cast member, and they walk you through everything. So if you have any questions, you can ask them in there.
Okay.
So it's more nicer to do that.
So, talking about prices,
Mhm.
Disney's expensive,
Mhm.
which is part of the reason why I've never gone.
Yes.
So, how did you create a budget, and not including souvenirs, estimate how much did it all cost between travel, stay, and food?
I actually have all of the prices. This is what I actually do. And this is actually a real thing. Before I actually booked the trip, people just for fun, they make fake Disney vacations. You can go on the Disney website. You can go and do everything before checkout. So you can honestly look up what the price of your hotel will be, airlines, dining plan, park tickets. You can do all of that. And it's a real thing. People will do it for fun if they even can't go. Like, I'm gonna make my fake Disney vacation.
I'm gonna do that.
So I was constantly doing that. And you do that for multiple reasons. You do that to figure out what an average cost is gonna be, what different times of the year it's different prices. Even sometimes when you go certain months, weekdays and weekends, sometimes stuff change. But a lot of it has to do with airlines. You need to figure out what is the cheapest day to fly, and that's considered, going there and coming back. You have to figure those dates out. Figuring out what hotel, because there are so many on-property hotels that you've got to do that. And so a lot of people don't think this way, but you can do a breakdown. And what you do is every time you tack on a new thing on your fake Disney vacation, whatever that current total is, you can constantly just subtract whatever you just tacked on to figure out your totals. Okay, I believe that the total was $3,438.48 for both of us. That for each of us, it was $1,719.21 each. And that was for the whole entire trip, and that included everything. We did have a gift card that I earned from getting a Disney Chase Visa, so that kind of threw off maybe a little bit, but I believe this is spot on before that even happened, I believe. So what I meant by subtracting all those days, I was able to figure out what each thing cost specifically. And when you do the breakdown, it doesn't cost as bad. For example, our hotel for each of us only costs $74 a night. So it's not going to be like what you think. It's be $200 a night.
Yeah.
We did go at a time where there was a discount, maybe 20 or 15% off.
Okay.
But that's there's so many times throughout the year that happens. So for 7 nights, it was $74 a night.
Okay.
That's not, see, when you look at that way, it doesn't look that bad.
Yeah.
For the park tickets, we did a 5-day ticket. If we would have gotten a 4-day ticket, it would have been $109 per ticket. By us adding one more day, Disney did something where by adding on one extra day, it went down to $87 per ticket.
Okay.
So for 5, that's 5 days at 5 different parks. That was $87. The dining plan is where we got the Disney dining plan, where you got every day a quick serve, so that's like just going up and ordering at a window. A sit-down restaurant dinner where you can get a dessert, a full dinner, everything. 2 snacks per day. You get a refillable drinking mug that you can refill for free at any Disney Resort hotel. That total, it was $75 a day for food.
I guess if you break it down between that was essentially lunch, dinner, and 2 snacks and beverage for the whole day. Because when you make it out that way, that's not so bad.
No, because when you think, even for like the sit-down meal, you are getting a regular meal, you're getting a drink, you actually can get an alcoholic beverage now that they could say within that price, you can get it. And then you get a dessert on top of all of that.
Wow.
Right. And so you can go to an expensive restaurant.
Yeah.
So you can get a $35 meal and it'll be within your thing.
Nice.
Yeah. United flight, it was $276 for each of us. That's for going from Cleveland to Orlando.
A round trip
Cleveland.
ticket.
Yeah.
Round trip
On
ticket.
United, yes.
So
That's what the breakdown, a lot of people say it's very expensive. However, when you look at that breakdown, you're going to see it's not that bad.
Yeah, anything over the span of 8 days is gonna look more than each individual day. Whereas, for example, I take public transportation to and from work. I pay $5.50 a day. That's a little over $100 a month. People think that's expensive to have to pay that to go to work, but that when you look at $5.50 a day, that's not so bad. It's like
Right. When you look at the breakdown,
it's a cup of Starbucks coffee.
So yeah, that's. Sorry, it took me so long to answer that.
No.
Way to log in accounts.
So you were talking about looking at off season, in season. So what strategy did you have? Did you start out by figuring out who was going to go and then what time of year, or looking at the time of year and then asking who was going to go?
For my type of job, I kind of have no choice. I have to go during the summer. That
is peak season.
That's peak season when I'm off. However, if my job would have went differently this past year, I could have gone during off season. However, it all depends on who was going to go. And it was basically, I had to say, forget it, because there was no one who was willing to do it.
Yeah.
What's funny is there's a lot of people who will say, oh my God, I cannot wait to go on a Disney trip, or I want to. But here's the funny thing, when it's time when you go ask them, people just turn it down, and it's kind of funny, because if I was given the opportunity, do you want to go on a Disney trip, we'd be like, yes, which I understand is because of the money.
Yeah.
But I think it's sometimes because they don't realize that, or it's because of their vacation time where people are super hesitant to take off. And if you're confused, we had to switch cameras fast.
Sorry.
I would say after New Year's happens, the time period between after New Year's and when spring breaks start up, I would say that is the off season.
That makes sense.
Because that's when rides go down for refurbishment. A lot of like the 2 water parks I don't think are even open during those time periods. Because that's the thing, like there's families that will take vacations, or different schooling systems have different off breaks.
Yeah.
Winter breaks, that type of thing. So for me though, I had to go during the summer. With my job last year, I was capable to go back in May, like when I went back in 2017. However, I remember from that year when I went on vacation that early in the summer, I felt like it was way too early, and it came and it went, and then you're like, for the summer, now what, in a sense. Or that summer, because I went with some friends, after that I felt like nothing happened. No one wanted to do anything.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if it's just because they're like, oh, well, we had our fun, or we went somewhere, we don't need to do anything now. So we kind of said, well, we don't want to go in August because that was too close to when my job could start back up. Plus, it's too hot then.
Yeah.
July is super hot there, so that's when we decided June. And with June, some of it really wasn't our say. It had to deal with what hotels had openings, what days, and with the airlines that match up. With United, more of round-trip airlines, our tickets are hard to find.
Really?
Yeah, from Cleveland to Orlando, there's barely any of them. It's all, you gotta get on a flight and get a layover somewhere. And I don't like that from going here to Florida. When it's a 2.5 hour flight, I think that's silly.
That is kind of silly.
Yeah. We booked our airlines through Disney. You don't have to do that. You can book your airline separate and then get your information and plug it in with Magical Express, which is this. Magical Express is the coach bus that will pick you up from Orlando's airport and take you for free to your hotel. Oh. They even, with special luggage tags they give you, they actually will take your bags. They'll pick them up from the airport and they will deliver them to your room.
That's really cool.
For free.
That's awesome.
So you could go on the coach bus, go to a park, not worry about your bags, and then come back later in the evening and your bags will be in your hotel room.
Wow.
So you can book your flight separately and plug it in with them, or if you just book your flight through Disney, all of this becomes automatic in the system. United, there was only one option, and it was the same one we had when we went in 2017. Flight depart was 9:20 a.m. You got there at 11:41 in the morning, and so that first day of we didn't go to any parks. We went to like to Disney Springs, hotel hopping, that kind of thing. The dates in June depended on because some of the hotels we wanted to go to, there was no openings.
Yeah.
So because there were so many Disney hotels, you got your options.
Yeah.
There are values, moderate resorts, and then you've got your deluxe.
Mm-hmm.
When I went on Disney property in 2017, I stayed at Coronado Springs. It's a moderate.
Okay.
We said, well, let's save a couple of bucks and go to a value resort. We went to Pop Century. So it was kind of like, well, what weeks at the beginning of June have dates open, and then constantly bouncing back and forth between those dates of room openings and then air flight reasonable prices.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm talking.
No,
Sorry.
okay.
That's what editing
That-
helps us with.
An explanation.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of details that people like me who've never been would want to know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of helpful information when it comes to trying to plan a Disney trip.
And I hope I look happy when I'm saying this too, like not all serious. You gotta do this, and this is what happened.
So in planning a Disney trip,
Mm-hmm.
now you said in 2017 you went with more people. Did you like having just one person going with you this last time, or did you prefer a bigger group? I know it was your sister, so that makes things a little different. Because I know I don't always get along with my own sister.
Yeah.
Do you think it would have been different if it was a friend? Or
Yes. Look,
Okay.
this is the best way I can explain this.
be nice.
I
She
know,
might be
that's-
watching.
Siblings don't always get along, and that is what happens sometimes. There were times I wish I had a friend with me, so maybe some stuff would not. You know how sisters banter and argue.
Yes.
I feel like if there was one additional person, that would have kept some stuff at bay.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could have been if there was an additional person, I could just went off with that person and done something. Or maybe vice versa, if that person wanted to do something with my sister instead. It wasn't terrible, but there were definitely moments I said, I wish there was someone else here. It's not bad having two people though, because of you can possibly get on some of the rides faster.
Mm-hmm.
There's not 4 different people saying we want to go on 4 different rides. So that was easier. Going with a very large group is not going to be fun. And that's what it gets hard, because there is a time when I'm going to want to go with certain people, and you just hope that more and more people don't want to tack on the trip,
Yeah.
because a lot of it goes on is when you're getting on rides. You want to be seated together.
Yeah.
Certain rides like Pirates of the Caribbean, It's a Small World, if there's even 6 of you, you can fit all in a row. However, there's certain rides where it's like 2 and 2, 3 and 3.
Yeah.
So sometimes your party will get split up if you have a good couple of people. When I went before, there was 4 of us, and it was easy, just 2 and 2 in seats.
Yeah.
If you're going to go with 5 people, what's going to happen is there's going to be 2 pair up, and one person's going to have to sit with a stranger. That's a single rider or another family splitting up, or they might just let you sit there alone.
Yeah.
Dinner, which I think I don't like this. If you have 6 or more people, there's a rule with the dining plan that you are basically forced to pay a certain gratuity tip. And I think that's kind of wrong.
A lot of restaurants, even
They're-
not at resorts, do this.
Yeah.
And I understand, because having a large party puts extra work
Right.
on that server,
Mm-hmm.
because then they can't take care of as many other tables, so they're missing out on other opportunities
Yeah.
for tips.
Which is true. Because if you have a dining plan, you got to remember you have to still tip. That is not included.
Yes.
So make sure you bring cash. Disney dining, a lot of people like it, some people don't. You basically get to pay for your food before your trip happens. So that is a additional thing lifted off your shoulders.
Mhm.
So when you go there, your food's paid for, you don't have that guilty feeling. You
Yeah.
really don't. You just got to make sure you bring money to tip.
Yeah.
And when you see the breakdown, sometimes you might spend under that 70 something a day on food, but a majority of the time you might be spending around that amount. So I think it's worth it to get the dining plan.
Yeah.
If you have a larger group, though, I think it might work out where you can split off of some, not everyone likes the same rides. So if you want to have a couple people that want to go on the thrill rides, like Hollywood Studios, Tower of Terror, that's the drop tower one. I don't want to go on that. There's Rock and Roller Coaster with Aerosmith. That's in a building. You go upside down and you launch.
Yeah.
There's some people who want to do that. Not everyone might. So if you do have that group, I think it might be nice where you can split off and meet up. So there's pros and cons to both. It's more like, I would say, you need to sit down with the people you are going to room with, or because that's even with rooming with.
Yeah.
The rooms, you got 2 beds, so that's 4 people. Some of the rooms, you get that additional bed or this panel that flips down, and that's more like a kid's bed. But if you have a short person like me, and doesn't weigh a bunch, then you might be comfortable there.
Yeah.
Like Brian would not want to sleep on one of those things.
Sorry, Brian.
I'm being actually, there's adults that even that are taller than me, they wouldn't want to be on around my weight. You would then have to get 2 rooms. Yeah. That might be extra money, but I've priced out 2 rooms before, and it was still cheaper to be in 1. Yeah. So I would just say, talk with the people who you want to go with, and just think of, well, is it going to work with this many people? Is it not? Are your decisions going to clash? Are they going to work well together? Yeah. Sometimes it just even has to do with personalities. Like if there's a person who does not like getting up early. Yeah.
like Mike.
I don't know if they would be very happy understanding that if you want to make the most of your day, you need to get in the park by no later than 10 o'clock. You need to be in the parks like around 9 something if you want to make the most of your day.
Wow.
There's certain things like that you've got to realize certain things goes on. Yeah. So I don't know, that's my best way of going with 2 different size groups, and then also seeing large families there.
Yeah, I've always seen pictures of families doing like their family reunions at Disney of like 20 plus people. But with that many, it depends on the family. It depends on the budget. Not everyone can plan for that kind of budget. So that's really interesting, and that's something maybe Mike and I will do in a couple of years. We'll see. So this gives me a lot of information. Hopeful seeing the breakdowns. We'll include pictures of the breakdowns.
It's not that bad, and I've actually told people the price, and I've said what's all included, and I feel like I've kind of changed their mind. Like I don't remember, there was someone who I talked to, and they're like, wait, so you're telling me for $1,700 that your food was included, your hotel was included, your air flight was included, and a park tickets, and those were 5 days. Yeah. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, it's not that bad, but I will see if you are a family. I just paid for myself. My sister paid for herself. If it was a family of 4, but if you're a family of 4, like you would be that's more money. So it's different, I guess you could say, if you're paying individual compared to that. Yeah. So if you get the opportunity to go with a group of friends and you're paying by yourself, this is not a bad vacation. No. I'm not lying.
If you take one vacation a year, like Mike and I usually do, we do 1 vacation a year. This could be one. I see usually an anime convention. You
never know. Down the road, it might be a road trip or something we do or something. Oh, yeah.
We might take a Stub Club road trip to Disney.
Because there's California.
California.
Where Avengers Campus is going to be. So.
Someone wants to go see that. Well, thank you, Jennifer, for all this wonderful information about your trip to Disney. This is just the planning. We'll have another interview about more detailed stuff within the parks.
And of course, we cannot touch base on everything with this. Like, there's so many things of like, well, what you get in the mail, what different things, like there's almost too much to talk about in one video. So I don't know, maybe down the road I might do another one separate from 25 Days at Disney. Yeah. But we thought this was a good opportunity since many of you have been watching some of my Disney trip videos. Yeah. And plus there are so many people out there who like Disney planning trip tips that would help. So.
Yes. So hopefully this helps some of you, hopefully this gives you hope of wanting to go to Disney
Mm-hmm.
and thinking that it's actually achievable.
Mm-hmm. So that being said,
Keep watching. Click that bell for the notifications.
Mhm.
Like and subscribe to us if you haven't already.
yes.
But continue watching for the 25 Days of Disney.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
If you enjoyed me, give this video a thumbs up.